Hello guys, how are you? I hope you and your families are doing okay, and most importantly that you're staying home and safe. Well, in today's lesson we will learn about irregular verbs in past simple. Last time we've seen irregular verbs, and today we will see the irregular verbs in past simple. So first things first, the first thing that you should know about irregular verbs that they are verbs that don't end in D, ED, or IED spellings of the past simple, okay? So whenever you find a verb that doesn't end with D, ED, or IED, it means that it's an irregular verb, all right? And the second thing that you should know is that most of the verbs that we use are irregular. So like most of the verbs that we use in our daily life are irregular verbs. Now we will review a few things about the past simple and see if you still remember anything from the previous video. Here we go. Past simple is used to talk about an action, a completed action that happened in the past. It means something before now, okay? It doesn't matter if it's a recent past or if it's like a distant past. What it matters, it should be a completed action, okay? So we use simple past to talk about when something happened. So in English, simple past is about when this action happened or when that thing happened. So we have to be specific with time. That's why we use some past time expressions and we will go through some of them now. Okay, so here we go. Sorry. A sentence formed in simple past is usually linked with a past time expression, such as, all right, last week. So if you read a sentence and you find this expression in your sentence, that means the sentence is in simple past and the verb in the sentence should be conjugated in simple past. So we'll see an example here. I met Huda last week. You see, so this sentence is conjugated in simple past, and we see the verb, it doesn't end with D, ED, or IED. That means it's an irregular verb, okay? It doesn't follow the regular past simple rule. There we go to the second one. Yesterday. Yesterday, we all know that word because you use it a lot. We ate rice for dinner yesterday. So the verb ate is conjugated in simple past, and the infinitive of that verb is verb to eat. Is verb to eat. So you see, it changed all the way to ate. It changed completely. So we ate. So we say we ate rice for dinner yesterday instead of we eat rice for dinner yesterday. You see, we don't say we eated. We don't say here we meted. We say we met or we ate. Those are irregular verbs. When I was a baby or when I was a student, I believe that we used this expression before in a lesson. I think, if you remember, we say when I was a baby, I was naughty. When I was a baby, I was clever, etc. So here, when you find the expression when I was, that means the sentence is formed in simple past. An example. I slept a lot when I was a baby, when I was a student. You see, I slept a lot when I was a student. So here verb slept came from verb to sleep. You see, verb to sleep changed all the way to slept in past simple. It's an irregular verb, so we don't say we slept. We say we slept. I slept, you slept, he slept, etc. And then number 4, 2 months ago. So the word ago here, it doesn't matter if you say 2 days ago, 2 weeks ago, 2 years ago, or even 2 minutes ago. It has to be the word ago, because if this word if exists in the sentence, that means the action happened in the past. Okay, it doesn't matter, as I said, if it's a recent past or a distant past. It has to be a completed action. All right. Here, she bought this dress 2 months ago. Again, bought came from the verb to buy. You see the difference? We say I buy in simple present, you buy, he buys, she buys, it buys. In simple past, we say I bought, you bought, he bought, she bought, etc. And then you finish conjugating the verb. So the thing that you should know is irregular verbs don't really have any rules, you just have to memorize them, all right? So there is no rule I can tell you and then you can follow it. No, you just have to memorize the verbs and then memorize the changes that happen to them, and then you will be fine. So let's go to the next one. How do we form the past simple for irregular verbs? It's super easy for the negative form and question form because it basically follows the same rules as the simple past, okay? Here, for the negative form and interrogative form, we follow the same rules as the regular past simple, and the rules are negative, subject plus didn't plus verb, which means the base form of the verb, which also means the infinitive form. And then question form, did plus subject plus verb plus base form. So, for example, I'm going to give you an example with the verbs we've just seen. For example, let's take the verb to sleep. So I said the simple past of verb to sleep is slept. So the negative form of sleep in simple past has to be I didn't sleep. You see, here you put the verb in its base form, in its infinitive form. I didn't sleep, you didn't sleep, he didn't sleep, we didn't sleep, etc. And then question form, did you sleep yesterday, for example? Did you sleep yesterday? You see, auxiliary did plus subject plus the verb in its base form. So basically, irregular verbs follow the same verbs, the same rules as regular verbs in the negative form and question form. So you make sure you revise your previous lesson. You have to watch the previous lesson if you want to watch this lesson. Okay, let's move on. Examples of regular verbs in simple past. So here we have examples of some verbs that are regular and that change. Let's go through them one by one. So here, we're going to start with verb to be. All right, sorry. Oops. To be. So the simple past of verb to be is was, were. Why was or were? Because in conjugating verb to be in simple past, we say I was, you was, I was, you were, he was, she was, it was, we were, you were, they were. You see? And then verb to have, it becomes had in simple past. So you say I had, you had, he had, she had, it had, we had, you had, they had. All right? Verb to do becomes did in simple past. Verb to say becomes said. Verb to go becomes went. So for example, you can say, you want to tell me that you went to the supermarket, for example, yesterday. So we say, I went to the supermarket yesterday. All right? I went to the supermarket yesterday. Or my family went to the supermarket yesterday. Verb to take. To take, took. So I took my brother's ruler last month, for example. To see, saw. So if you want to talk about seeing something in the past, you say I saw this. For example, when I was at my grandma's house. So, verb to sleep, slept. Verb to read, it stays the same, but the pronunciation changes. So we say I read, you read, he reads, it reads. But simple past, you say I read. So if you say I read a book, I can understand that you mean simple past just from your pronunciation of the verb. Okay, so you say I read is simple past. I read is simple present. To buy becomes bought. To buy becomes but. You don't pronounce the GH there. And then we have to get, it becomes got. To eat, ate. To drink, drank. To give, gave. I gave my classmate my pencil, for example. To forget, I forgot. This is the verb I tell you to say always. I forgot. To know, knew. To make, made. To write, wrote. To think, thought. To come, came. So you have to memorize these verbs because there is no rule I can tell you to follow, okay? It's just up to you, to be honest. Let's move on, and we're going to practice some examples. Okay, there we go. So, I'm going here to ask you some questions, and you have to give me an answer. What did you eat for dinner? What did you eat for dinner? So this is the question form of verb to eat. Now you have to give me an answer using verb to eat in simple past. So what did we say about verb to eat in simple past? It becomes ate. Very good. So we say, I ate spaghetti. I ate spaghetti. You see, this is the simple past of verb to eat. It becomes I ate. Number 2. What did you do yesterday? What did you do yesterday? So here, verb to do, we have to change it to the simple past form. Come on, do it. I'll give you 1 second. Yes, exactly. Just say any example, okay? Just say any example. The important thing is that you should know the simple past form of each verb here. So we say, I watched TV, did my homework, and went to the gym. So watched, the infinitive form of this verb is verb to watch. Did, verb to do. Went, verb to go. But because we're talking here about simple past, which means yesterday, we have to conjugate these verbs into the past simple. Very good. Number 3. What did you do last weekend? What did you do last weekend? So you have to give me an answer. Like pick some verbs and conjugate them in simple past and give me a sentence. It doesn't matter what you say. It has to be you just have to practice, okay? So just give me an example and we'll see the example here. We visited our grandparents and we went to the park. We visited our grandparents and we went to the park. You see, verb to visit here and then verb to go. You see the difference? So watch and visit, we can see that they are regular verbs, but here verb to eat, verb to do, verb to go, these are irregular verbs. You see, there is no rule to follow. You just have to practice and you have to memorize them very well. Let's go and see. Did you go to the gym yesterday? Did you go to the gym yesterday? The answer has to be short. Very good. And you say, no, I didn't. Same rules as regular past simple. Same rules, okay, when it comes to question form or negative form. Number 5, did you drink coffee for breakfast? Did you drink coffee for breakfast? You have to give me a short answer. Yes or no. So what do you say? For me, yes, I did. Yes, I did. So it has to be short, okay? Whenever we ask a question in English, the answer has to be short. Number 6, what did you buy yesterday? What did you buy yesterday? Here, we're not going to give short answers because I asked you to tell me what you bought yesterday. So the answer has to be something that you bought yesterday. You can tell me whatever you bought yesterday, even if you didn't buy anything. Just, imagine and tell me something and make up an example and give me a correct sentence. Let's see. I bought a new school bag. I bought a new school bag. So these are the examples. Practice them again. Pause the video before I give you the answer and then check if your answer is right or not, okay? All right. So we came to an end to our video. I just want to tell you that there are no rules for irregular verbs. You just have to memorize the list that I gave you, and then practice, because practice makes everything easy to memorize. And then do a lot of exercises. I'm going to send you some homework. Make sure you do them, and make sure you memorize those verbs, because if you don't memorize those verbs, you're not gonna remember any of them, and then you will be you wouldn't know the difference between a regular verb and an irregular verb. So you have to memorize them so you can know when we talk about regular verbs and when we talk about irregular verbs. Okay, I hope that you understood something, and I hope that you followed with me. Please make sure you do your homework and make sure you memorize these verbs, and I will see you soon, inshallah. Stay home and stay safe, kids. Bye bye.